Well, hello, y'all. Welcome back. We are here for another episode of the F1 2025 My Team, off the heels of a pretty rough showing at the Imola circuit. We go to another track that's very difficult to overtake on, probably the hardest, Monaco. And if you look at that weather, we have rain forecasted for the race. Aside from the last little bit, dry qualifying, but a rainy, full wet to enter to dry race. So should be quite the adventure we have in store for ourselves. So, I mean, obviously the hope is qualify well and then just hold on. So, without further ado, let's get into quali.
Now, if you ask anyone who's raced here, they'll tell you, nowhere in the world is more important to get a high qualifying position than here on the windy, chicaney, challenging streets of Monaco. We're about to set the grid for tomorrow's race, but potentially for the end of the race too. So welcome along, everyone, to the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying.
Well, here we are in qualifying, getting ready for our first run. So let's get right down to it. We should have enough fuel and battery to potentially go 2 back-to-back fast laps, but we'll see how it turns out. But let's get ready for lap number 1. A little tentative into Sandoval there, but then we climb the hill. There's a big hump here. The back end loves to get unsettled now. I don't know what it is, but it seems like Monaco's narrower than it was last time in the last year's game. Might just be the color of the banners on the walls, but it does look a little bit tighter, just all around. Here we go. On through the tunnels, which will give us a little brief respite from the rain in the race, into the Nouvelle Chicane. That's right, we're in the dry. I can brake a bit later than that, closer to the 100-meter board. We'll go for the back-to-back on this first run. All right, here we go. Winding up for our second run on the used soft tires. Where we got provisional P13 at the moment. Let's see if we can't find some improvements on this lap. Got some clean air in front of us. Better run through turn 1, down about 0.2.
We've been pushed down into P14.
Here's a couple of tenths. I think we got time we can find into the chicane here. Ah, a little too much curb. We got the fuel for a second run. Let's just get a little bit more energy in the battery. Here we go again.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Pretty good run. Ooh. Had to make a mid-corner correction and nearly hit that inside wall. Actually just had more grip turning in than I thought I would. Now I've gone deep because I was talking. It's alright, we're on improvement still. This middle lap is always to push the envelope a little bit more for the final clean tire run. Hustle through there. I think I abused the rear tires a little bit at the end of that one. Definitely got some squirrelies, but P9 provisional with one more set of runs to go. All right, so here we are out on circuit. New tires on, winding up for our final runs of the session. Instead of the usual final runs, which are usually at the tail end of the train of all the cars coming out, two reasons why we've gone early. Number one, well, we've got enough fuel for 2 runs to get in, just like we did in the middle run if we need to do it. And also I'm trying to dodge, attempting to dodge some of that traffic. Looks like nobody's moving out of the pit lane just yet, so we should have a pretty clear run at our first lap. Away we go. A little tentative on entry, but we did gain a little bit on exit. Still not quite perfect through the hairpins. There's a bit of time being left on the table.
Fuel remaining now.
Go wide. Big improvement. Do we have the battery to go any faster? I don't think we do. Got close. Just not quite the battery needed for it. P5 provisional, but everybody's still got to make their last runs now, so we'll see what we can hang on to. That was a pretty decent lap overall.
With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Managed to hold on to P6. Where's our teammate? P18. Hey, we out-qualified our teammate again. But we have a very difficult, I would prefer if it was dry, but we have a mixed race coming up. Mixed weather. Full wet, inter, and then dry.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino that first opened in 1863. And of course, a certain road race first held in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. We already see the lowest average speeds of the season here at the Circuit de Monaco, and they'll be even lower in the difficult conditions today. 19 corners make up this famous 2-mile track, and with the rain, it'll be even harder than usual to get the critical heat into the tyres. So don't be surprised if we see a safety car at some point during today's Grand Prix. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Piastri, Carlos Sainz, and Martins, Antonelli, Russell, Gasly, and Charles Leclerc, Albon, Hülkenberg, Lance Stroll, and Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Doohan, Liam Lawson, Pierce, Bortoletto, Ocon, Hadjar, and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today. Anthony Davidson, I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, you know this, but this track needs a lot of downforce, and as such, we're not going to have quite the same top speed as at other circuits. The good news, though, is that it's going to make our DRS even more powerful. So try to make the most of it in the race and quali if you can.
What super unuseful information. DRS, it's gonna be raining the whole race. Here we have it, a pouring wet, full wet Monaco with the 5 red lights up and away. Swept around the outside of Carlos Sainz. A little touch with Piastri. Real risky spot for Carlos Sainz to kind of go side by side. Was having to make sure to leave him as much room as I could. Lap 1, as usual, we get very bogged down in the hairpin. And that's something we are going to have to worry about, is those track limits at the Nouvelle Chicane. As the track is constantly changing, we're constantly going to have to be adjusting our brake point for that chicane. And 3 violations of those track limits is a 3-second penalty, and it does look like we will probably be the cork in the bottle for the top 5 here. I expect the groups ahead to kind of run away from us pace-wise.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
Because the track grip is very low. So a 3-second time penalty could be tons of positions come the end of this race if we are leading a train. Favorites have definitely checked out. I mean, they're already 3 seconds ahead of me, almost 4 seconds. Key will be avoiding damage, which I almost already haven't done. A little touch of the wall into back there.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Yeah, fastest laps were in the 29s. We're in the 32.8s. So very much well off of the lead pack. Just got to kind of park the car in the middle of the road.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, gap to the car in front, 20.9 seconds.
Doesn't matter. Weather report.
Forecast suggests the rain's going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water. Full wets seem like the best tyre for now. Weather's changing now. You might want to review our strategy. Understood. Copy that.
Boxing this lap for inners, looks like. Yep, leaders are in. McLaren's even going for the double stack. All right, I need a mega stop from you lads. Come on, guys. Of all times not to have a bad stop.
Up to speed now. Let's get some
now.
heat into those tyres.
Okay, well. Won't be top 5.
We had an issue attaching the left front wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put that behind us and get back into this race. Right, we've got teams in the pits changing over to full wets. Come in and change your tyres if you need to. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
P6, about what I expected now. Okay. Fortunately, the slow stop only cost 1 position. It could have cost us a lot more. Frustrating, to say the least. I think we've had slow stops in about half of our races this season.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending, wait for the greens.
Not sure what the VSC was about. That's fine. Yeah, there's still all 22 cars running, it looks like. I don't think I've seen any. Oh, there's some damage. Never mind, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's Aston Martin in the pits. Okay. I feel like it's raining heavier than it was a couple minutes ago. Weather report.
ETA on this rain clearing up in about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there, you're doing well. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Did Sainz pick up some damage of his own too?
The radar showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this rain. The tyre situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now. The car behind's gaining on you by 0.5 a lap. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 49.2 seconds.
So the track has definitely dried out quite a bit at this stage. Just kind of waiting to see when are we going to pull the trigger for the dry tires, if at all. There's only a handful of laps left to go anyway. So we've committed to staying out on dry tires. I think we've got more than the gap we need to get to the end here. 2 more laps. Here we go, starting the final lap. We've gambled on the inters even though the track is dried up.
Final lap.
We're under heavy pressure. We do have a bunch of cars behind us that are on inters as well, though, so we got a buffer. But Leclerc is being very racy, so holding the inside. Lando Norris gets the race victory. We are working our way through the final lap. You can see tires are quite warm outside their operating window. And quite worn, but essentially just one more attacking location to go. Through the tunnel. Ooh, back end starting to get a little light there. Car slowed down for the chicane, no penalties. Swimming pool area next. Rear tires are pretty unhappy. Okay, one more big traction zone and we are through. Power down, battery deployed. P5 finish on the board.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Here's the checkered flag. The fans rise to their feet. It's Lando Norris for victory.
To witness such mastery of these conditions, these changeable conditions that we saw today, is very impressive indeed. So a huge congratulations to this driver for taking victory today.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these three have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Oh, it looks like we got some big help from Lando Norris, basically holding up that entire group after he lapped them that came into pit. So we managed to just, yeah, nobody really got to go very fast. A P5 finish, that's big for the team. Joshua Pierce, P13, moved his way up. Let's see what we're at on the standings now. That gets us to 20 points, 26 as a team. So we're back ahead of Albon in P6. We are just about catching Williams, though. They had a decent day out as well, with Alex Albon picking up a P7 finish. Carlos Sainz would have been there as well if not for the damage that he took, had to take an extra pit stop. Damage repairs, but no big deal. Fan sentiment going up. That should be good for this week. We got, ooh, fan bonuses gained. What we gain? Title sponsor loyalty. Nice. And great to watch. Yep, good qualifying that helped out. It's the only reason we scored where we did. All right, let's hit his meeting. So what do we got for Joshua? So he wants to finish 5th in the Constructors next year. I think that's doable. 11.6 salary, that's big. That's pretty hefty, though. That's hefty. I think there's I think it's up to if we want to pay that money. I think we'll have the ability, the talent in the team to do it, but do we want to pay that much money? Okay, another short week, so only, let's continue this fan outreach as always. This should just be messages. Ooh, title sponsor has grown. Great. I'll fiddle with that one off camera. Component management. What do we got? Joshua needs... Yeah, let's get him on there, on here. That's gonna have to be fine for the moment. I need to pay attention to his thing, personally. Okay. Sign upgrades. What do we got? We got rear floor under tray. Sorry. So that goes to Victor. Stators, those go to Pierce. Saubers drop down the list. Okay, developments. What do we got? Chassis. Great, that's done, so that we can get this other one started. Powertrain. We can get this other set of stators going. We'll have them before Canada. And then research. Chassis is underway. Only one simultaneously upgrade available. Durability, nice. Okay, so we can get this MGUH improvement on the roll. And there we have it. I believe every facility has an upgrade in progress. Yeah, 11 days, 17 days, 22 days. What did we have for title sponsor? What did we gain from them? Owner experience, nice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Looks like we'll get a new decal design coming up at the next upgrade. Ooh, and they've got a livery. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and advance things. Oh, delayed research. Ah.
Hey, Chief. We've finished developing a part
Couple
and
failures.
it's now ready
Let's
for
get
fitting.
those
Make sure to
going.
stop by the Assign Upgrade screen when you get the chance.
Okay, so we can start that. And yeah, that failure doesn't help us. Okay. Are there any upgrades to assign? No, there are not. Alrighty. Well, thank you all for joining me once again. Should be a good time. As we head to Spain, a little tougher track. I think we'll probably go medium tire allocation. But I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for surviving Monaco with me. Peace.